Okay, this is the third weekly check-in. I actually haven't posted for a while. There's not many of you here right now, so you probably haven't really noticed. But I haven't rehearsed anything today. I don't really know what I'm going to speak about. I guess I'll go into how I can help a bunch of people and make a bunch of money to help build my business. So, I saw a reel that Alex Hormozi posted. And it really resonated with me because he basically just said when he was starting out, he literally invested all of his money right back into the business and kept it growing and growing and growing. So right now, my income isn't super consistent. I don't have anyone on retainers or any consistent lead flow right now. But I plan to start something. And if it works, then I'll be making a bunch of money from it, right? And I'm just thinking about putting so much money back into the content that I make, maybe my short form content, as well as putting more money into ads. I'm thinking of running YouTube ads. After this video, I'm actually about to film those ads. So I'm going to run a few ads, and I'm just thinking that the profit that I make from each package, and I'll get into what I'm selling in a second, but the profit that I make, I think I'm going to keep 50 or keep maybe 25% and invest that 75% back into the business. But yes, let me tell you what my plan is and what I am thinking of doing. So, right now, Adrian.S Media is mainly a long-form content agency. So we make YouTube videos and things like that. But the thing is, there's been a very big demand lately for VSLs and for paid ad creatives. So we've started a new part of Adrian.S Media where we're going to start selling VSLs. And I've just decided to make 3 tiers of VSLs that I think would really help out the people that I help. So basically the plan is to run YouTube ads because YouTube has less high retention editing and very, intensive ads where it's a lot of competition. I think that YouTube is the best place to target because also business owners aren't always scrolling Instagram. So I'm deciding to advertise on YouTube and we're going to be selling VSLs. So originally I was going to make it like a price matrix. So going from very short, 1 to 2 minutes to 30 to 60 minutes, and then really low editing to really high editing. But then I looked at some Alex Hormozi content, I looked at some business content, and I found that the best way to do it is to have just 3 tiers, 3 packages. So there's a starter VSL, a growth VSL, and then a high-end documentary style VSL. Now, the goal isn't for people to buy the high-end documentary style VSL, because that's the most expensive one, but it just anchors the price. So, for example, the starter VSL is $859, so it's pretty cheap, fairly cheap for a VSL. It's basically 2 to 3 minutes. We make the scripts for them, we edit the videos for them just enough to get the point across, and the visuals will be on brand, right? So it's not too much, but it's enough to get going and to start testing things and trying things out. Now, there's also the growth VSL, which is the one that I'm really trying to double down on, which is $3,000. And it includes a deeper script creation, storytelling structure, and sales psychology. Then complex editing, which is like Iman Ghazi style or whatever style the person wants to have. Very complex though. And then thumbnails. So we'll have 3 to split test if you're using YouTube, or you can just choose from any of the 3 if you're using it for a landing page. And then the total runtime of the VSL will be 10 to 15 minutes. There'll be 3 hook variations to split test, also a deployment guide which I have to create, and it'll be delivered in around 1 month, depending on the client. And then the high-end documentary style VSL is going to be very long. I've only done the first 2, but all the features of the first 2. The third one though will be very, very high-end, high value. It's going to be very strongly designed to help get a viewer from point A to point B to get them basically ready to buy before they even hop on the sales call. Anyway, that is what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to have to maybe test a few pricing ranges, see what works for people. I'm targeting people who already have a business that's working, which is why I'm charging these higher end prices. I'm going to put around 500 into it, just see how it goes. Hopefully it works out well. If not, I guess we can, go back to the drawing board. There's That is, okay, here we go. We can segue into this. When you have a moment of failure, when you have a moment where life doesn't go as planned or where you want something and you don't get what you want. For example, me putting this money into ads and maybe not getting anything back. When you have that point of failure, what I used to always do is I used to go and like kind of cower away and stop doing things. Like when I had my first ever sales call and obviously it was terrible, I didn't get the client. And then I quit business. Like, so that was when I was 14. And then I basically stopped business until I was 16 when I started Dranko Media. And it really has woken me up to the fact that if I just doubled down and just felt the pain and kept doing the work anyway, I'd be so much further right now than I was back then. I'm not angry at myself for that. I'm not angry that I didn't continue working because you can't change the past. But I can change what I do right now. If these ads don't go well, or if my cold outreach campaign doesn't go well, if whatever doesn't go well, then I'm not going to stop. I'm going to double down. I'm going to keep trying to do more things from different angles. And as scary as it may seem, I know it's what I have to do. And I know it's what I should have been doing. I'll tell you a story. So in January of this year, I signed up for a mentorship. I had 3,000 in my bank account and this mentorship was 2,700. So I basically would just spent my entire bank account on this mentorship. And it was a good mentorship. I learned a lot about, building offers and how to do the cold outreach and everything else. I got a whole sales call script, everything. But the thing is, I didn't work because of the rejection I was facing. So I did cold outreach. And then while I was doing cold outreach, most of the people that I was messaging said no or didn't even view the message because Instagram DMs are people don't view the message. And like the one sales call I did get on, he basically just ghosted me. So I stopped for a long time doing any type of outreach, I haven't done cold outreach since, to be honest. Oh yeah, I did. I did very, very slight cold outreach before. But it really opened my eyes and made me think that you have to, in business and in life, you kind of have to have this mindset where it's like non-emotional. And it's hard to do that in practice. It's easy in theory, but hard in practice, where you're not emotional and you just think very logically. Like, okay, I reached out to these people on Instagram. They didn't reply to me. Back then, when I was just working, my mind kept saying, okay, well then just stop outreaching. But I should have said, okay, well, Instagram doesn't work. Is it because I'm sending a copy-paste message? Is it because the account I'm sending it on? Maybe I should be sending more emails. I should have been thinking of the different ways that I can pivot around it. And that is a really important thing that I've learned. And it's something that I think would really help a lot of people out, which is when you fail, when you go through that hardship, when something bad happens to you, don't think of it emotionally. Don't think, okay, well, this thing happened to me, so now I have to quit. Think of it in a way where you don't let it stop you, where you keep pushing and keep moving forward, keep trying new directions, keep trying new angles until you find something that works and then double down on what works. And that is something I'm going to be doing. Here's a controversial take, and I don't know if people would agree with this or not, but you can work so hard. You can work 12 hours a day for 30 days, for 60 days, and you can see no progress because you're not working on the right things. And I can use myself as a perfect example for this because over the past year and a bit that my business has been alive, I've been spending my time working in the business, fulfilling things for clients. I've been spending time building out social media content when right now it's pretty low leverage. I've been spending my time doing things that aren't actually moving my business forward. And over a year, what's that got me? It's kept me stagnant. So you can work 12-hour days, but if you're not working 12-hour days on the right things, then don't expect to have results. And that's something I'm saying to myself because that's what I've been doing. That should be enough for the check-in today, this week. I'm going to run these ads on YouTube. Maybe you'll even get an ad of mine when you're watching your YouTube videos. I'm going to run these ads, hopefully get a few clients, maybe even if I get like one client from the VSL, I'll make my money back. So if I get one client on the smallest plan, I'll make my money back. And we can see what happens, I guess. It's all a learning curve, and I just need to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is the real hard truth. Because as soon as things get really uncomfortable, I feel like I stop a lot of the time. But I have to start building that courage and building that consistency to not give up when things get hard. So that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.